Hi, I'm Matthew West, and I'm going to sing a song that I wrote called You Know Where to Find Me, and you can know where to find it. It's on my Happy CD, so this song's called You Know Where to Find Me. I saw your sky fall down today, suddenly turned from blue to gray, till one by one the raindrops turned to tears upon your face. I wish there was something I could do, I wish I could ease the pain from you, but I've never felt so helpless. It's like you're drowning right in front of me, and I'm reaching out but you can't see. There's something holding on to you so tight. So I guess this is all I say to you tonight. If you ever need me, you know where to find me. I will be waiting where I've always been. If you ever need me, you know where to find me. But I have never left you, and where I've always been, right by your side, right by your side. So if the whole wide world is on your back, if the strength you need is the strength you lack, if you're in a crowd but all alone, if you can't stay here but you can't go home, if you can't answer all the whys, cause you're too tired to reach that high, I want you to remember, yeah, that if you ever need me, you know where to find me. I will be waiting where I've always been. And if you ever need me, you know where to find me. I have never left you, I'm where I've always been, right by your side. I'm right by your side. So if the whole wide world is on your back, the strength you need is the strength you lack. If you're in a crowd but all alone, if you can't stay here but you can't go home, if you can't answer all the whys, cause you're too tired to reach that high, well, I want you to, I need you to remember, yeah. If you ever need me, you know where to find me. See, I will be waiting where I've always been. And if you ever need me, you know where to find me. I have never left you, and where I've always been, right by your side, right by your side, right by your side, right by your side. Okay, well that song is called You Know Where to Find Me, and I was inspired to write that song by a friend of mine who's been struggling in his life. I have one of my best friends started making some bad decisions in his life. He started doing drugs, and it started with what the world would call like small or harmless drugs. His friends bought him some marijuana. Now, my friend was a star athlete in high school, but he made one bad move, and it has led him down a path to bigger drugs. And these days he's been addicted to drugs like cocaine. And I firmly believe that what happens, we all make mistakes in our lives, but sometimes what keeps us down on the ground is not just the mistake that we make, but it's the guilt that follows after. And sometimes the devil will come and whisper into your ear, you've made too many mistakes in your life, you're addicted, or you have too many problems in your life, your friends and family won't love you, and not even God would forgive you anymore. That sometimes it's hard for me to believe that God could forgive me, but this was a message I wanted to send to my friend, that I believe in a God who promises in Revelations, he says, behold, I stand at your heart's door and I knock. And that doesn't sound like a God who's going to give up on me anytime soon. So I wanted to send this message to my friend and to anybody else who needed to hear this message, that there's a God in heaven who's looking down at us saying, If you ever need me, you know where to find me. I'm knocking on the door of your heart. I'm with you always. Times and we all know the difference between right and wrong. Yes. And the Bible says we all fall short of the glory of God. We're all sinners. We all make the bad decisions sometimes. But that's why evil is so crafty and tricky, is that it'll trip you up. Yeah. But then it's not settled. It wants to ruin your life. It wants not just to trip you up, but it wants to completely knock you down and out of the game. Because evil knows that God has big plans for all of us. And I've been writing a lot of new songs and working on my new record, and there's been a lot of lawnmowers. Just kidding, I don't mean to call it lawnmower. But that's like our keyword for the ministry. But there's been a lot of inspiration coming from kind of that theme of, not listening to evil and saying, hey, you know what, I'm going to get back up again. And that's actually a line in one of my songs. It's basically inspired by the story of where Jesus picks the woman up off the dirt who the Pharisees had intended to stone her because she had committed adultery. But Jesus said, I don't condemn you, go and sin no more. That's something that's hard for me to believe sometimes, like the battle between guilt and grace. Sometimes it feels like guilt wants to win. But the truth is grace is big enough to win every single time. So even if we fall, the instructions are simple. Get back up again. Sometimes you kind of start thinking that you can play mind games with God. But, it's like, well, I can do this and then pray for forgiveness later. Or like if I'm facing the decision between making the right decision or the wrong decision. Well, the Bible says I'm paraphrasing, of course, but it says, if you've thought that sin in your mind, then you've committed it in your heart. And basically saying that, and so sometimes I remember growing up and thinking, well, if I've already thought about doing the wrong thing, I might as well just do it. You know what I mean? And so basically what ends up happening is it's all compromise. Yeah. And inside, we all know the difference between right and wrong. And it keeps coming back to these simple truths of going, you know what? God knows our hearts. He looks inside our hearts and our minds. He knows what we're thinking. He knows what our intentions are. And so if we think that we're going to fool him anytime soon, we got another thing coming. And that's been a humbling realization for me as I kind of take this journey through not just my music, but through my life. And that's where my music comes from, is through the life that I live, the struggles that I face, the joys that I face, and realize